10. The Shining, 1980. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining isn't just one of the scariest films ever made, it's also one of the most mysterious. Behind the scenes, Kubrick's obsession with perfection became legendary. He forced Shelley Duvall to do the baseball bat scene 127 times, pushing her to emotional exhaustion. Jack Nicholson only slept a few hours every night to stay unhinged for the role of Jack Torrance. Kubrick even changed parts of Stephen King's novel, like the hedge animals becoming a maze, just to create something more symbolic. The typewriter Jack uses? It's a real German model with an intentional translation glitch that ties into the film's themes of insanity. And remember the creepy twins? They were inspired by a Diane Arbus photograph of identical twins from 1967. Kubrick loved that eerie symmetry. Many fans also believe the movie hides secret meanings about the moon landing, Native American genocide, and even the Holocaust. Kubrick never explained anything. He loved the mystery. Decades later, The Shining remains both a horror story and a psychological puzzle that still keeps fans guessing. 9. The Princess Bride, 1987. Few films mix heart and humor like The Princess Bride. Directed by Rob Reiner, it's a fairy tale that became a cult phenomenon. Andre the Giant, who played Fezzik, couldn't do many stunts as Badback made it hard to lift anyone, so most of his strength moments were done with hidden supports. Cary Elwes and Mandy Patinkin trained for months for their sword fight. It's one of the longest and most detailed sword duels ever filmed, done entirely by the actors themselves. Many lines, "As you wish," "Inconceivable," and "My name is Inigo Montoya" became pop culture gold. It flopped in theaters, but exploded on home video, becoming one of the most beloved films of all time. 8. The Breakfast Club, 1985. John Hughes' The Breakfast Club wasn't just a teen movie, it became a generational anthem. But behind the scenes, things were tense. The cast didn't always get along, especially Judd Nelson, who stayed in character as the rebel even off camera, annoying everyone including Hughes. The movie was filmed almost entirely in sequence, inside a real high school gym converted into a library. Hughes wrote the entire script in just 2 days, but packed it with emotional depth and unforgettable dialogue. Molly Ringwald and Ally Sheedy both rewrote some of their lines to make their characters feel more authentic. And the famous ending, with Judd Nelson raising his fist, that wasn't scripted. He just did it on the last take, and Hughes knew immediately that was the shot. Every line, every look, every song became a snapshot of teenage identity that still resonates today. 7. Raging Bull, 1980. Martin Scorsese's Raging Bull is raw, violent, and poetic, and it nearly never got made. Scorsese was struggling personally when Robert De Niro handed him Jake LaMotta's autobiography, insisting it would make a great film. De Niro trained for a full year to become a boxer, sparring with real fighters. He even gained 60 pounds later in the film to play the older LaMotta, a transformation that shocked Hollywood. The fight scenes were shot in stylized black and white to make them timeless, and Scorsese filmed some punches in slow motion to mimic a ballet of brutality. Every flashbulb, every bead of sweat was carefully choreographed. When it first released, audiences didn't know what to make of it. Too violent, too dark. But today, it's hailed as one of the greatest films ever made. 6. Beverly Hills Cop, 1984. Eddie Murphy's charm made Beverly Hills Cop an instant classic. But did you know it was almost a serious action movie starring Sylvester Stallone? Stallone dropped out weeks before filming, and Eddie was brought in, transforming the movie into a perfect blend of comedy and action. Many of his funniest lines were completely improvised, especially the banana in the tailpipe gag. The crew could barely stop laughing between takes. Murphy's improvisation changed Hollywood comedy forever, blending fast-talking street smarts with real emotional heart. The movie's iconic soundtrack, Axel F., became a global hit and still plays in commercials and video games to this day. 5. The Goonies, 1985. The Goonies is pure 80s magic kids, treasure maps, pirate ships, and friendship. But filming it was chaos. Director Richard Donner wanted real reactions, So he kept the full pirate ship a secret from the young cast until the final reveal their shocked faces were 100% real. Josh Brolin accidentally cursed during that scene, his first movie ever, and everyone cracked up. Steven Spielberg produced it and even directed a few scenes himself. The movie's booby traps were real, and several props were accidentally dangerous. Sean Astin even took home a real treasure map, and his mom later threw it away. It's messy, funny, and full of heart. That's why fans still call themselves Goonies Never Say Die. 4. Platoon, 1986. Oliver Stone's Platoon came from his own real-life experience in Vietnam. He wanted to make it feel painfully authentic, and he did. The actors were sent to boot camp in the jungle for 2 weeks with no contact with the outside world. Charlie Sheen, Willem Dafoe, and Tom Berenger lived like soldiers, sleeping in the dirt and carrying real gear. The result? Real exhaustion, real emotion. Stone even used the same jungle sounds he remembered from combat. The movie went on to win Best Picture and is still one of the most realistic war movies ever made, raw, human, and haunting. 3. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 1986. Ferris Bueller didn't just skip school, he defined freedom. John Hughes wrote the script in just a week, and the movie became a cultural landmark. Matthew Broderick actually injured his knee before filming, so the parade dancing scene was shot carefully to hide his limp. The Ferrari wasn't real, it was a replica worth $25,000, later destroyed for real in the famous glass scene. The movie's most famous line, "Life moves pretty fast," was written by Hughes as a personal reminder to himself, not a quote. And that final breaking of the fourth wall? Revolutionary for its time. 2. The Untouchables, 1987. Brian De Palma's The Untouchables brought together Kevin Costner, Sean Connery, and Robert De Niro in a visual crime masterpiece. De Niro went full method. As Al Capone, he even wore real silk underwear, just like Capone did. Sean Connery won an Oscar for his role, despite almost turning it down. The famous train station shootout? Inspired by Eisenstein's battleship Potemkin, De Palma's slow-motion gunfight became a cinematic legend. Every frame of this movie was crafted like a painting, stylish, brutal, and unforgettable. 1. Full Metal Jacket, 1987. Kubrick returned to war and madness with Full Metal Jacket. Lee Ermey, the drill sergeant, wasn't even an actor. He was a real Marine instructor hired as a consultant, but he was so intense that Kubrick cast him. Most of his insults were improvised, and he never broke character once. The boot camp scenes were shot in England. Kubrick recreated Vietnam using an abandoned gas factory outside London. Matthew Modine said Kubrick would film 40 to 50 takes for a single line, chasing perfection as always. It's cold, dark, and unforgettable, a mirror to the dehumanizing machine of war.